Something I often see with student games is it can be a little bit punishing in terms of difficulty level. So example, I've got this game here, I'll get all the way over here with some tricky little jumps, and then I die and it sends me all the way back to the beginning, which is often people will rage quit when you do that. Send them all the way back to the beginning. So we're going to put a checkpoint into this, and we can have as many checkpoints as we want. So at the moment in the event sheet, we always change the position of big guy when we collide with spikes or do any other kind of death, is we set it back to these hard-coded coordinates. What we're going to have instead is a spawn point. So we're going to add an object to the scene, but instead of going to the asset store this time, we're going to add a new object from scratch, which will be a sprite, which we make ourselves. Now we can just leave it like this, but I think it's neater if we just look at how we would make something. So I'm going to say create with Piskel, and that allows me to do, I can create something, but I'm not going to create anything. I'm going to just leave it completely invisible and transparent to the player. I'm just going to save it. So you'll see here, I've just got a blank sprite, which is my object. And I'm going to call this spawn point. Right, that's the point where we spawn in the game. So I'm drag this over, drag this over, and put it pretty much where big guy is. So now, when I die, instead of setting the position to 295497, I'm going to say set it to spawn point. Use the autocomplete spawn point dot x and using the autocomplete, so it has to be this exact format, capital X with a bracket afterwards, spawn point X and spawn point dot Y. All good. So this should work exactly the same. So if I just go over here and die to these spikes, I need to move my spawn point up a little bit, I think. So if I click on spawn point here, spawn point, there it is. It was just a little bit too low, wasn't it? So we'll just double check that, go and die to the spikes. Yep, that works perfectly. Now, checkpoint. So I'm going to add something in for it to be a checkpoint. Back to the asset store, I think, for this one. I'm just going to find a flag. I think will do the job. That red flag will be perfect. And I'm going to rename that as well. Often when you're trying to make sense of what you're doing, it's nice to have things properly named. So I'm going to call this checkpoint. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, again, in the event sheet, I'm going to add another event. So this event stays on its own. This is one thing. Big guy collision with spikes does this. Add another event, which is when the big guy, again, collision. We do a lot of collisions. Collision with the checkpoint. So when big guy is in collision with the checkpoint, we're just going to move the spawn point. So we're going to move the spawn point to where the current checkpoint is. So the spawn point position, we're going to set to the checkpoint dot x, and the y, same. Yep. And I think what we'll also do, we can have multiple actions over here. We'll actually delete that checkpoint because they'll look kind of funny otherwise. So there's a delete the object option here. Cool. I think we're done there. So let's just check that out. Or actually, I'll tell you what, I haven't put the checkpoint in the scene yet, have I? Of course, I need to do that. I want a checkpoint perhaps right there. So when I've made these tricky couple of jumps, see if I can do that right now. So I'll go to here, all the way over to here, jump to the checkpoint, and now, yeah, when I die to these spikes, it sends me back to that checkpoint, which I think needs to be just a touch higher for that to work, doesn't it? Let's just try that again. Over there. Just check by dying to these spikes. Yeah, I still die over here. So, yeah, that's all good. Everything working fine. Hit that checkpoint, die to these spikes. Yeah, I'm right here. And I can try and get on this moving platform or whatever. Yep, that's checkpoints done. And I can have as many checkpoints in the scene as I want. I can just drag checkpoints all over the place, just at opportune positions within the level.